Maxwell, who she agreed that she's going to testify on behalf of Congress, but there's an exception here. She's asking for quote-unquote immunity. So we're going to see what that's going to look like. So as of when I'm recording this specific video, it is Wednesday, July 30th at 1:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the channel, sharing this YouTube video with others. Really help boost the algorithm here on YouTube. If you want to be able to be notified and stay in the loop when I do post and upload, do not worry. Go into the comment section or the description below and follow my Blue Sky account and my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you when I do post and upload next. All right, so let's get on in with that. I don't like to waste your time. You don't like to have your time wasted, so let's go ahead. Let's jump into this. This video is just for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only as well. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it into the live chat, and let's just get on with this. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see. And now if you guys want to go and kind of stay in a loop and kind of find out, okay, what else am I talking about in terms of what they call it in other Epstein videos, I will put the link to all those videos I covered in terms of the Epstein files and stuff like that, the downfall of Donald Trump, Saturn and Uranus and all those things, and your Pluto. Hold on, yeah, it was Uranus and Gemini as well. I'll put the link to all those videos in the description below and in the comment section if you want to go ahead and watch it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's find out about Ghislaine Maxwell. Hello, Desmond. How are you, my love? Okay, so Ghislaine Maxwell agreed to testify to the Congress, but with the mere exception of immunity. What we want to know right now is Ghislaine Maxwell going to tell the truth? Anything but the full truth. Not anything less, not a white lie. Is she going to be openly honest about what really happened? That's what we're going to want to know. Is Ghislaine Maxwell, the co-conspirator and what's it called, who is tied with Jeffrey Epstein, is she going to be openly honest with Congress when she testifies under oath? Or will she lie in some way? Okay, so there's an illusion here. There's an illusion. Okay, there's an illusion. Yeah, okay. I think I'm understanding what's happening here. Okay. Let me just ask. Let me just confirm. Hello, James. Okay, let me just see. When Ghislaine Maxwell testifies to Congress, is she going to be killed? Show me a funeral card or a pathway card. Doesn't matter in what position it's in. Okay. Is Ghislaine Maxwell going to be killed? Is Ghislaine Maxwell going to be killed if she testifies under oath? And what would be her decision? Where is the coffin? Pathway cards reverse. Where's the coffin? So the coffin is expected. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to ask the card this is because we're asking the question, okay, is Ghislaine Maxwell going to testify under oath with accuracy? Is she going to be openly honest with the American people? Is she going to be openly honest with Congress? And here's what I'm getting. The card that comes out in reverse is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is indicated to me somebody who takes the sword and shoves it through the king. Right? They're just taking down somebody. He's just taking down somebody. What asking, is she going to be openly honest and tell the full truth, anything but the full truth? And this is what the Ace of Swords is telling us. It's reversed. It's reversed for one particular reason. It's because she's not going to be openly honest. It's not going to take somebody down the way that you would think. So if you're expecting her to talk about Trump and his Trump-like behavior, expect it to be more glossed over, if you will. Hello, Lyra. I'm glad you were able to catch me live as well. We also have here, we have the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is that decision making. indecisive. It's that she has a choice. She knows what the final outcome is. The final outcome is death for her. She will end up being killed at some point in time. And she is aware of that. She knows, okay, so I can either be openly honest and expose everything and just be killed, or I can not expose anything, but still be killed anyway. And this is her idea. She already knows what's going on. She already knows what her fate is. She already come to the conclusion that her time is almost done. And it's really interesting. You're not alone, Lyra. You're never alone. But it's really interesting to see because like how a lot of people are probably talking about, like, oh, she has the edge, she had the advantage, right? She had the advantage over Trump, that she's able to, make deals with Congress and etc. For this, what the card is saying, that no, she doesn't have the advantage, not the advantage that you think she had, right? For her, her advantage is, well, I have the information. But really, what's dangling over her is death. That's their advantage. And that's more powerful, more influential than whatever she has to say. And so in hindsight, what it is telling us is that what matters more to her? Is it matters more that she tells the truth and ends up being killed, or that she tells the right thing, lives for a little bit, and then gets killed anyway? This is the dilemma that she has to deal with, is what will she decide? What would you decide if you were in her position? Hello, Desmond. I'm glad you're here too. You also have here is we have the Queen of Pentacles, right? This is somebody who thinks that they are in a position, an advantage, but they're not in an advantage. So this is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. It's saying this is somebody who's not in the chair. This is not somebody who's in control. This is not somebody who's empowered. This is somebody who is submissive to something. So she is not as powerful as you would think. She does not have control of the situation. Hello, Nathan. And here you have it, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is somebody coming in for the attack. Now, this feels like very much like Trump-like entity. This is somebody who does something based on emotions. So, what does this mean? This means that it doesn't feel like Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be openly honest and upfront with Congress when she is going to agree to testify. She's not going to be openly honest with the American people. This is for entertainment, for educational purposes only. There's a deal that was made. But I'm getting the energy here that there is a happenstance. There's a point in time where maybe possibly during the testification, she may actually start, you know what? And let me just tell you it all. Like at first it goes really poorly and she starts lying under oath and stuff like that, or giving quote unquote white lies. But then she had to change her heart. She comes to this realization that like they're gonna kill me anyway, because eventually they're gonna keep making me testify. So that when they want me gone, so the idea here is, okay, well, if they're gonna want me gone, let me take the whole thing out with them. It's just like kind of like a battle of people trying to say, I can take you out and finish you first before you finish me, and that's really what it is. It's the game, and this is what this is. This is why the Knight of Wands is coming in. Is that even if she does not say anything under testification and throw people under the bus, someone else will come in to attack her, right? Underneath this Ace of Swords here and the Two of Swords, we have the Five of Cups, right? She's looking at these Three of Cups, but she knows information, so she's withholding information. She's not letting it all out in the open, right? This is somebody who's weeping, but this is somebody who is not being openly honest. This is somebody who's holding in something. This is the funeral card, if you will. But underneath the Two of Swords, going into the Queen of Pentacles reverse, you have the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's in control. Who is in control? This is the masculine. This is the man. This is the patriarchy. This is the Trump administration. These are sexual abusers and all those type of people. This is the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's in control. She thought she was in control, but she is not in control. Despite what everybody believes, it doesn't feel like she is in control. And this is why, because her Queen of Pentacles being reversed and the Knight of Wands coming into for the attack while she's invulnerable, it's the Hermit card. This is a period of darkness, and the light will get shown. She comes to this realization and say, hey, listen, darkness is coming for me anyway. The Green Reaper is going to come take me. So why not just be honest with the people? Why not just tell them what it is? So at first, I expect her to lie, but eventually she'll get to this realization mentally where she's going to start to speak in the truth. And this is the Hermit card. This comes revelation through darkness when she realizes and has an awakening. Now, I want to know is, are they going to kill her? So I use this deck here, the Kipper deck. And the Kipper deck challenges the Ace of Swords reversed and the Two of Swords, which means you're not sure if they're going to take somebody out. You're not sure if you're going to be the one that provides information to take somebody out. This is the Ace of Swords reverse, followed by indecisiveness, which is the Two of Swords here. We never had said that she had two probabilities. She could either be openly honest with people from the start and end up killed, or doesn't she doesn't find herself in a position where she's openly honest with people and still finds herself killed anyway. Regardless, death is coming for her because her journey is coming towards an end. So she has to just make a choice. What track do you want to go on? What path do you want to be on? Regardless, it ends the same way. You're going to be dead, regardless. And this is Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, underneath this Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords here, we have the Five of Cups and the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's withholding information, right? This is the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's in control. She's not in control right now. And so therefore she has to withhold information because somebody else is telling her to do so. And here you have in reverse the mature male. This is somebody who's immature. We already know who's very immature. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure this one out. But on top of the Hermit card, with darkness, what comes to realization, what comes to the state of mind of understanding, hey, listen, I'm not in control of myself. I'm not actually in the advantage here. Someone's going to come in to attack me, and I'm going to illuminate something from the darkness. And what is this thing? Well, first of all, she's getting paid. It's this 777 angel number, right? We're going to look up what 777 angel number is. If you guys want to help me out with that, by all means, put that into the comment section below. But we also have to do it in the live chat. We also have the courthouse, which is interesting because we're talking about a congressional subpoena, which means somebody is paying somebody from the congressional standpoint. This is a congressional testification. We talked about this before, but she's going to be in front of Congress testifying under oath about the Epstein situation, right? But yet there's money and activity involved in this as well. Did we just run out of power? Okay, I don't know what happened. A lot of darkness just happened. But anyway, I want to keep continuing. So this is what I'm getting in terms of this regard. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at everything else, and let's go from there. All right. So Spirit Angels tell me, did Donald Trump make an agreement with Ghislaine Maxwell to not implicate him under her testimony if she testifies under oath? Will Ghislaine Maxwell hide the truth about Donald Trump? Who is David Marcus, Angie? I don't know who David Marcus is. Spirit Angels tell me, will Donald Trump force Ghislaine Maxwell to not tell the truth? Will Ghislaine Maxwell tell the truth regardless if she made an agreement with Trump or not? That's what I want to know. Will Ghislaine Maxwell tell the truth? Will Ghislaine Maxwell tell the truth? Are we almost ready? Could I want some cards down? Okay, and will Ghislaine Maxwell conflict Trump? Will she talk about Donald Trump's role in the Epstein, with Epstein? Is Donald Trump going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? We have a death card in reverse, an ending. This is not happy. Whatever this is, not happy. Ton of cup reverse. Yeah, she was sexually abused. Ivanka Trump was. I mean, I even can tell. So the first card that we get here is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is talking about the indication here that, okay, so we're asking, is Ghislaine Maxwell going to make a deal with Donald Trump? And if she does, will she conflict him or will she talk about him anyway? This is Three of Cups here. This is somebody who makes an agreement with something. This is the path of least resistance, right? Which is represented by the Seven of Wands here, right? This is somebody who makes an agreement and is proud of that agreement. This has to be an agreement that you cannot refuse. This is the best offer you can get. And maybe there'll be the path of least resistance. Now remember, this makes a lot of sense before because we talked about in the beginning of the video that there might be an indication when Ghislaine Maxwell starts lying and then switches over later on to telling the truth. We have the Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords is betrayal, right? But wait, I think this came. Wow, no, I think this one came. We have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups means casting this illusion, casting a sense of doubt, a sense of lack of understanding, a lack of awareness, right? So the fact that we have the Three of Swords here, followed by the lack of awareness, casting doubt on something that shouldn't have been doubted, finding your right path, right? This feels like she's aware of something, but she's in doubt, in a state of doubt right now, a state of denial. And here it is, it's a struggle. She's not sure what path she wants to go with, which makes a lot of sense because we had that Two of Swords before, and she was very indecisive of where she wanted to go, but in the end, she ended up dead anyway. So the question is, what path does she want to go? And here you have is the Ten of Swords. Again, she ended up dead regardless. That is her outcome. That is her final outcome. Again, this video is just for entertainment purposes and for educational purposes only as well. But that is her outcome here. Regardless, she's done. We want to know here is that will she complete Trump? Well, the first card that we got here is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is somebody who not walking away. This is somebody who's engaged in something. This is somebody who's engaged in a behavior, who's committed to an idea, a concept, a goal, a promise, a contract. But here you have it, the Queen of Wands. This is somebody who's not in control. For some reason, if she was to go into this congressional meeting, I feel like she's going to get roasted or something. Something's going to go wrong. I just don't feel like it's going to go right. Something's going to go wrong. Maybe possibly she says things that don't line up with what has been told, what has been in the file, and it contradicts each other. It could be massive public backlash. Maybe people don't believe the things that she's saying. But regardless, something doesn't go well. And here you have it, the Fool card. There's an idea. This is like what's it called? This is the popularity of something. Something that goes up in popularity. This might not be the popularity of Maxwell, but it might be the popularity of an idea, a concept. Oh, we realized something that you're lying to me. And this could be what this is indicating. That's why the Fool card is reversed. Because it's saying you're not going to make a fool of me. Right, and here you have as well as we wanted to know, will she complicit him? We have the Emperor. This is Trump. This is Trump here, right? He's in control, not the female. The female was reversed. She's not in control. He's in control. And here you have it, the Page of Swords. Is she brave enough to tell on him? And as of right now, it looks like no. She's not going to complicit Trump as of now. So the answer is no. But the question is that, remember, like I said, in order for her to go to this route, she has to be offered a really good deal. Particularly, Trump had to offer a good deal to her. So I asked the question, will Trump pardon her? Like, that's not going to make him look guilty, but it is what it is. The first card that comes in is the Seven of Swords here. We had this card show up before. This is Seven of Swords. It means walking away with something, relevancy, right? Walking away with something, getting away with it. And here is the Tower card. If Donald Trump decides to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, this will spell the end of his administration because this will make him guilty. It's going to be comparable to when General Ford pardoned Nixon, but instead this time this is a sexual predator pardoning another sexual predator. And here you have it. This is what's coming, the Five of Cups. Maybe Ghislaine Maxwell doesn't have to say anything at all. Maybe she doesn't have to complete Trump. Maybe Trump had to complicit himself by pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, and in the end, it makes him look more guilty than she does. That's a food for thought. Just something to consider, something to take into consideration. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. So that's what I'm getting in terms of Ghislaine Maxwell. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, Spirit? Okay, so some of you guys had a question. Somebody wanted to know, Angie wanted to know, Maxwell lawyer, it was A.G. Todd Blanchie. You wanted to know about Todd Blanchie? That's the guy who wanted to go see Ghislaine Maxwell, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at Todd Blanchie, whatever his name is. Maxwell lawyer, AG, Attorney General Todd Blanchie wanted to go see Ghislaine Maxwell. Tell us more about this. Attorney General Todd Blanchie wanted to go see Ghislaine Maxwell. Tell us about how that meeting went. There's containment here. Containment of the devil. Making sure you don't have a decision in the matter. Making sure you don't take him out. Or you'll end up struggling. You think you have the power, but you cannot, because you must not take the devil down. The Queen of Wands reversed, you are not in control. Final outcome card. Final outcome card. Okay. So the card is that you guys wanted to know. He wanted to know about what did Todd Blanchie, the AG or Attorney General, I don't know where he's from or whatever, what kind of relationship he has. I don't even know who he is. But let's take a look at that. We have the Queen of Cups here. This is somebody who's watching something very closely. This is a woman. This is Ghislaine Maxwell, watching something very, very fine-tuned. She comes in as the Queen of Cups, followed by the Devil. The Devil comes here as well, which means watching very closely, and the Devil needs to wash himself as well. So she's looking at her optics. Trump is looking at his optics. But instead, Todd Blanchie must be on the side of Trump because it feels like he is advocating on Trump's behalf. But there's a sense of disloyalty as well here. There's a sense of disloyalty. So what we have here is that we have a Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is saying, hey, listen, you don't have a choice in the matter. What you do is say you cannot conflict the president. You cannot say anything bad about the president. And this is what the Two of Swords comes in as, the reverse. It comes in as the King of Pentacles. What you do is say could destroy the president. You can destroy him. But the thing is that I'm getting is that, remember, like I said before as well, is that he comes in as somebody who is defending the president. But at the same time, the same token, it feels like he's telling her how to take Trump out. You ever see somebody in these sci-fi movies where they start talking, but they have to speak in code? This could be one of those situations here as well. Because the card that comes up next is the Eight of Wands here, right? You can take him out. You can make him very fragile. You can make him very vulnerable. This is the man who got shot in the ear. This is somebody who's very fragile. This is somebody whose ego is very fragile, right? And underneath this Queen of Cups and the Devil card here, this is Ghislaine Maxwell, this is the AG attorney Todd Blanchie. You have the Ace of Cups. This is potential. This is opportunity. This is outpouring of information, intelligence, right? Underneath the Devil card and the Two of Swords reversed, which means you cannot conflict the president. You don't have a choice in the matter. This is the decision with certainty. You have the Ace of Swords. Reverse. This is taking the king, taking that sword and shoving it through the king and taking the king out. This is what the Ace of Swords means when it's upright, but it's reversed. This indicates to me that in order for Ghislaine Maxwell to do anything, she needs to be able to release what she knows about through the Ace of Cups. She needs to release all the information, and regardless, it can take Trump out. The thing is that when Todd Blanchie went to go see Ghislaine Maxwell, he was indirectly telling her how to finish Trump, but in a way that doesn't complicit him either. Because underneath this Two of Wands here and King of Pentacles, this is a man who's reversed. This is a man who's not in control. Because remember I talked about earlier, hello Vicky, how are you, my love? You must be new here. And in my other videos a long time ago, I spoke about how, not that long ago, probably say about 2 weeks ago, whatnot, that Donald Trump, as he starts to get into what to call it, Uranus and Gemini, Donald Trump is no longer going to be able to control the news. Certain things will get released, and he can't control things anymore. Right? He cannot control the narrative. And essentially, in hindsight, is that the Epstein file is not going to work out in his favor. He cannot control that. We really saw that as well. We have the Queen of Wands here reversed. That even though Ghislaine Maxwell is not in control, neither is Trump. If this is meant to come out, it's going to come out one way or the other. Whether it's going to benefit them or not, it's not up for debate, because in the end, it will backfire. Because remember how I did in many of my videos, it had always continuously showed that Donald Trump always falls with the Epstein files. This is the thing that helped take him down. But as well, with all this being said, with the Queen of Wands here, it also tells us, okay, so because this thing does take him down and does injure him and make him very vulnerable, very prone to criticism, because what Donald Trump cannot handle. We all know this. We are very aware of this. But the King of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Wands is telling me something. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly they're telling me, because I keep repeating the same thing and I hate repeating things. Okay, what exactly they're telling me? Okay, so it is telling me here that if Ghislaine Maxwell falls, so will Donald Trump. So if one goes the other way, they'll like take each other out. There's going to be like the great fight, it's the great battle. So there's kind of like feels like that's exactly where we're heading right now. And as well as underneath this Eight of Wands here, we also get this Hangman reverse. Is that regardless of the action that they take, whether they want to hide this information, not disclose this information, things will get revealed, things will get exposed. People will come to this realization, this mindset of understanding, a mindset of awareness, if you will. Right? That's why this Hangman is reversed. This is illumination. You might be tied. You might be tied, but there is an illumination, there is an awareness here. Remember how we spoke about before, earlier in the video, how even if Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell making a deal and they make an apartment, they make a deal or whatnot, and they follow through on that deal, and Ghislaine Maxwell does not implicate Trump, but Donald Trump goes ahead and pardons Ghislaine Maxwell, that hurts him because it makes him complicit. You get what I'm saying? That no matter what option they take, something else is going to target Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell. Something else is going to take them down. So in a way, they cannot outrun this. So one way or another, something's going to happen, and it's not going to be in their favor. It may benefit them temporarily, but it never something that lasts that long. And so, with this question here, you want to know a little bit more about Todd Blanche and the role that he played with Ghislaine Maxwell. We already established that he was indirectly telling her how to take Donald Trump down, which means that there is a sense of disloyalty with H.E. Tom Blanche. Now, I have no idea who he is. If you guys can tell me if he had any indication of criticism in the past of Donald Trump, that would be really great to know. But I had no idea. Because we have here is we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who's not in the advantage. This is Ghislaine Maxwell. She's not in the advantage here. However, this is my congressional. This is my capital. These are the American people. This is Congress, right? So she's not in the advantage in Congress, which means that something else happens in Congress during this congressional meeting, whether it's public or not, is yet to be known. But she's on control in the situation. She's not able to control the situation. Donald Trump is not able to control the situation. Now remember, they might be able to control what's being said, but they cannot control what people are thinking. And here you have underneath here is the Nine of Pentacles, which means lack of support, a lack of appreciation, a lack of believing something. And here you have is the Moon card. Something that was hidden is going to be revealed. And it's going to be revealed in itself during this testimony, during this testification to Congress. That's what I'm getting in terms of that. So I hope that answers your question, Angie. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video, on this matches. I hope this answered all the questions that you guys have for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace out. I love you. And I'll see you soon. Bye.